August the 3rd, 2019. Live stream update for INVEGA, paliperidone, and abilify. All chemical compounds that harm the human body are psychiatric drugs by the governments of the world. Set up, so 1 second. My name is Ross Jason Bowman. In 2012, I was assaulted by abilify. 2013, less than 7 months later, assaulted by, what do you want to say? INVEGA. And too much weight was put on me. My life was taken from me, and it's a violation. I don't know what else to say other than that. They assaulted me and my human rights. They didn't declare what pain and suffering they were about to cause me. They took my physical ability and way of life to be physically fit, to run, walk, breathe, and enjoy any type of life. I've had to redo this today because of a sound problem with the mic and have things set up. I don't have a boom mic, so when this clicks up and down, it didn't register. So it doesn't work when I have it turned on like that. So I had to fix it. Sorry if you're watching and you lost it. Crimes of genocide or hate crimes are the same. Hate crimes are in here. It's called a crime of genocide, which is a human right violation. Hate crimes, segregating and killing other human beings, singular a group. This is the Martin's book. This is the Carswell book. This one the police carry in their bag supposedly so they can read it at any time if their PC's down in their car. And this one a lawyer would have and a student taking law, which are all the same. In an act of anger or aggression towards you, you have the right to self-defense as human rights and in the Canadian Criminal Code book of the Department of Justice in Acts, if you look in the top right hand, if you look under Acts up there, and so forth. Freedom of speech goes as far as making someone feel fear or an indecent act to a certain extent, especially when it's your family. Family violence is anything under family violence. You can find that in there too under family law as well. Genital manipulation happens when it's a doctor. When you bloodlet somebody, they shrink a male's penis or take the vagina of a woman and take out their ovaries and burn their insides out as well. Take their sexual desires away. It's pretty sad if you really want to look at it. The CCH.org will tell you your human rights on their page as well. And here. Guilty before or after the fact. That's right. Knowing of the crime happening and not doing anything, or afterwards, knowing where the criminals are and harboring them and not bringing justice to justice. A police department is not a police department or a government if they want to human traffic and control people and use negative influences to bring people to death as medications or a way of life, forcing them to live a negative view. When a human rights of Article 25 says adequacy that people who live in social services or minimum wage don't have enough money to live by because the lands are too much money and the goods are as well, when we're always paying rent and paying off somebody else's bills as well. That's in my poverty playlist for human rights violations and poverty too. We're here to talk about INVEGA Sustenna, paliperidone, and so forth. Well, I better switch to the dashboard just in case somebody's leaving a message. You look at the long and short of it. We've been assaulted if we were forced on INVEGA or any type of psychiatric drug that I said. $80 million lawsuits are being won, and that's winning your case, not the doctors and associates dying off and you being left in pain and suffering. Gynomasculine is a sex change drug proven in a human being called a male, because a man should not have breasts like on their body when a side effect of any medication says so. Testosterone is hormone replacement therapy if you don't have a high enough, and if you don't have high enough, according to nature, not a bunch of needles forced into the human body, not natural to a human body, to cut testosterone levels off. Okay? If you're forced to take a medication to live by, you're being controlled by the doctor who says how much you're regulated to have, just like a dollar bill and minimum wage. Okay? Equal protection before and after the law. You have to make sure all people have their proper food, which is money, and housing as well. Because if you don't have the right education, you don't have enough food, good enough housing, good enough clothing, or the education to have that job in life. Meaning, a cult is running the world, and that's what it is. That's not schizophrenic, that's not paranoia, and that is not a conspiracy theory. That is realism of life. The old dogs beating up the young dogs, pushing around children who are trying to learn to walk in life, to make a living, to live off what they can, and insulting everything they do, and only preached falsehoods the whole way. Education stated that the sailors all got scurvy, jumped off the boat, and got crazy from malnutrition. Bloodletting killed people. The human body needs 8 liters for it to work with, so you have vascularity and whatnot. I've stated in my videos, I can't go work out because I don't have cardiovascular fitness anymore. I can't run 10 kilometers and period. I can't even run 5 steps. My body physically can't move it anymore. My brain is dead. I can't swim. I've taken lifeguard training, Bronze Cross, Bronze Medallion, National Lifeguards, Royal Life Savings. I've taken the YMCA training. I swam 2 years in Catalina Swim Club. I ran cross country from grade 5 to grade 12. I was the best male athlete for one school in Victoria called Cedar Hill for 3 years standing. I promoted cross country and the personal well-being of cardio fitness to all the people, and we had a huge cross country team. I'm not bragging, this is the truth. I've been physically fit my whole life. I can't handle sitting anymore. I can't afford life. If I didn't dig into the dumpster and make $5, $10 a day and have $2 left, I couldn't have had my first computer. To say this the last time, somebody donated the one I have right now because he won $1 million in a lotto. I would not have a bed, a TV, a vacuum. I wouldn't have had adequate food. All because the government of Canada took my definition, said it was uttering threats, and I had to get legal aid, which wouldn't turn around, and violated my human rights by charging the government, BC Social Development, for torture, playing mind games in their thing. Just like I stated when she said I'm uttering threats and slammed down the phone, as well as the BC Ombudsman person at the time, Richard. That's right. You are playing games with people's mind. That's a crime of genocide. It's a human right violation. It's a hate crime in the Canadian Criminal Code book. You're intending to harm somebody. You're a common nuisance, always trying to find another way to harm somebody. And the FDA is responsible too, because these chemical compounds aren't helping society. They're repressing people and causing them psychological harm and physical harm, such as obesity on a male, looking like a female. They can't take their shirts off and feel comfortable in their own skin. I'm not talking to the wind. And here, I've already done 40 pounds once in my last video. I'm going to do it again and show you. To do it properly, you're not supposed to swing. Nice and easy. 8 times each arm to properly work it out. I'm not on steroids. I'm a natural human being. I'm totally out of breath again. Okay? You get the point? I'm not swinging. Here, I'm going to show you what not to do. That's not working out. You're lifting too heavy then. Nice and easy. Relax. Controlled form. If you have to swing your body, then you're hurting yourself. You're going to have back problems and whatnot, like Scott tried to come over here and do, and pretty much wreck the chair. Another gay actor who wants to assault people with their stupidity as well for the RCMP of Canada. Okay? I'm tired of games, in and out of psych wards, controlled environments. You can't control the people around you, and a clean environment, clean air, smoke bylaws, people smoking in front of your apartment, the sidewalk only less than 15 feet away. The entranceways of all places are sidewalks, parking lots, or any area that's towards a building of business. An intake of air or window or slider door. That's right, no smoking in public, because everywhere is an entrance to a building, even residential. The long and short of it, every video I posted is another assault from an actor from the government, and why? The RCMP refused to charge them for assault. Indecent acts, common nuisances, intent to harm knowing, criminal genocide, human rights violation, and hate crimes. Excuse my words, if a black man comes up to me and utters threats, puts fear into me, and I say something to him, he's in wrong. That's rules of engagement. And the right to self-defense is anyone who's acting aggressive towards you. Doesn't have to be in your own home. In the Canadian Criminal Code book. In here. Department of Justice, I've stated it before. You can go to my back videos as well. If you'd like to help me out and GoFundMe, you're more than welcome. I need a new webcam. I need another monitor so I don't have this audio problem again. I need a boom mic. I need a stream deck so I can switch my scenes nice and easy as well. I stated also that well on the drug sustenna, INVEGA SUSTENNA or paliperidone, I couldn't game because I was brain dead, which I couldn't. I couldn't even cook. I've started cooking in the last couple of years, better and better and better. I still haven't been able to work out. Can't go for a run. I don't have the cardiovascular. I don't have enough blood in my body like I stated. I have too much obesity. I've lost maybe 20 pounds in the last 6 months. I stopped eating pasta, rice, and potatoes pretty much, all carbohydrates, and that's all I can say. I really enjoyed life before, other than being poor and having to dig in the dumpsters. Before I digged in the dumpsters or went out looking for bottles, whatever you'd like to say, I had $179 a month for food, and $25 went to my cable bill, so I could just sit there. I sat on a lawn chair. I slept on the floor, and before I did the bottles and saved up $2 a day for vacuums, foods, better clothing, and a bed eventually after it got thrown out of court uttering threats, that, hey, I had something to live by. Our government doesn't give startup grants, but these programs out there give scooters to people who are obese and old and have problem walking, but they won't help somebody with a TV, a computer, chairs, beds, and whatnot. That's pretty sad. When you have nothing to live by, have fun, Justin Trudeau and the government of Canada and all those association before or after the fact. You know the crimes ahead of time, that you could have stopped it and said something, and after the fact, you're harboring a criminal and hiding the ones who did something wrong. You're pretending they're dead and put them somewhere else under what you call Protection Act. What do they call it? They put all the woodworkers in protective custody in jail. A jail is a controlled environment where they have actors around some of the criminals to assault them to death in criminal genocide. That's why they can't have jails. They can't have psych wards, which is a jail too, or detain you. A doctor is not a judge in execution in your life to bring more harm than good. Ethics states that as well. They're only allowed to bring goodness to your life and make your life better, not worse. To make yourself feel like life is over and not like your own skin is a problem. That's unethical. To me, that's an assault. So, INVEGA or any chemical compound is an assault to human body. Here, I'm going to show you the BC that I can't handle again. And I just got this shirt. I ripped it by accident. The stitching all came out. But I can't handle having boobs on me. Okay? You look at it, those look disgusting to me. I got boobs. I couldn't sit in a public park, as somebody asked, but you can see I ain't suck it up. That's all fat, man. I can't handle looking in the mirror. It just enrages me that a doctor like Kevin Weeder would go, have fun getting the fat off your body. Yeah, I have obesity in my family. I have hair loss in the family. And I have dentures in the family from dental work. It's pretty sad. You can't even go see a dentist to get dentist work because they're doctors too. And the stupid things they say right after being assaulted by Kevin Weeder and Jeff Edwards, who uttered threats to me in my own house when I couldn't walk up for a clinic thing for Island Mental Health, or VHA. Can't live on the island. It's Vancouver Island Health System. Can't live in BC because it's BC Health, according to our care card. Can't live in Canada anymore because it's part of the Canadian government and apex of Canada. Our health system, our social services, our EI, my social insurance number, my driver's license, the RCMP of Canada from coast to coast, the Red Surge. Can't live with the ignorance of the head of state because she's responsible for all her citizens as well, because she's the head of state, the monarchy of Britishism, the Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I got to find a new nation to live in because I'm being assaulted to death. Negative influences that lead to the harm of another human being is a criminal offense. Like I'm talking shit or trash about anybody when it states right here, our government refuses equal protection before and after the law to make sure all people eat properly, are clothed better, housing, have a decent education, and that can live in this society, and not violating human rights of Article 25. Intending to harm somebody as a common nuisance and trying to drive people to death. Yeah, population control, when we don't need a population control and 30 million in the second biggest country in the world. Redheads are 1% of the world, and redheads are in my family, and a few strands here too, naturally, not dyed like a person from Vietnam or China may or may not do. Very highly unlikely to find red hair in those races of people, but you'll find a few. Sexual manipulation or genital manipulation by a doctor means hormone dropping, and this is why. To make a transgender man into a woman, you have to take away the testosterone and add estrogen, which creates boobs on a body, prolactin. Proving INVEGA as a side effect, it says in there on the page, prolactin levels will increase, meaning there's prolactin or estrogen in there that will cause gynomasculine in the body, proving it is a weapon as stated. You can check out my Facebook page under the exact same name as this title as well. It's my birthday tomorrow. I turn 47, August 4th, 1972 I was born. I had to do an update before my birthday just in case I don't wake up, and you guys can see the harm all over again. The last time I took an INVEGA SUSTENNA shot from Jeff Edwards from VHA was, what was it, Jeff, if I remember correctly? February 15th, 2015. The first one was in 2013. 1.5 years. The maximum dosage. Tapered down by about 50 milligrams. So these are all Canadian criminal equal protection before and after the law. If you don't want to follow the laws of the Canadian Criminal Code Book, Justin Trudeau, and true human rights, then step down from your job, and every politician too, because you're guilty by association for not protecting all Canadian citizens with equal protection before and after the law. Article 25, to make sure we all have a decent education, proper money, food, clothing, and housing, and have a vacation every year like we're taught in school, and to have a family, just like nature says. All wild animals can breed and have a family if we weren't assaulted in trafficking of people by doctors dictating in the last 100 years what life was supposed to be, or a definition of racist discrimination and segregation of called mental health, and what status of money you have in discrimination and segregation as well, where you can and can't live, and what you can afford to live in. All row housing was originally the exact same size, was it not, and so forth. As the 1920s, people wear suit and ties as well. Now we can pick between Nike and whatnot, different t-shirts. Hey, I can go to Walmart and buy a shirt for $5, Fruit of the Loom, and here, I'm going to show you real quick. You can go to Animal, buy a $30 to $50 t-shirt. You can get given a t-shirt or buy one in Winnipeg for $25. Walmart, $7. Walmart, $5 for the Loom. Just got it. Another one, $5. You can go to Value Village and get a used one for $5, but why not? And like I said, and then there's Eddie Bauer, which they would cost $80 for, that you can get at Winners for $15 on a clearance rack. So there you go. Or you can go to online buying on Amazon, like I did when this shirt that says "Leave me alone" for $17 and have poor stitching as well. Don't go to the superstore and buy the clothing, same problem. All the seams rip out. Hey, check out these Walmart shorts. They just don't fit. They're all baggy all the time. $25 Wranglers. I have some torque off things and some video game streams I've been doing. I got a Twitch account now, and so forth. I need a stream deck, another monitor, new camera to make this better because it gets fuzzy all the time, and a proper mic because it doesn't work if the boom's up. So the long and short of it, when I'm doing this, I have to have a headset on. That way this happens and I can get this because the mic on that camera is all messed up. I don't know what to say, but INVEGA has really messed my life up. The government of Canada has really messed my life up. I haven't done anything wrong. This is all done outside of court. It's not fair justice. It's not a democratic system. It's a violation of human rights. Anybody that's had to go through what I have. Contact the CCH.org, make your complaint. Contact the ombudsman, contact human rights commissions, and so forth. If you have a problem and they don't want to listen and nothing happens good for you, you know you've been assaulted by them and it's just another practice of the Canadian Criminal Code, or the assault of all governments called the FDA and all whatnot. A chemical compound is a weapon no different than a bullet. It's a prison system if you have to have all power to one system and you have no strength or power and always have to feel fear. If your only option is to leave the earth and be a refugee of your country or the world, when we're all aboriginals of the world, we're all born on the world and have migrated around the world over the centuries. That's your human rights. I'm an aboriginal of the world and you are too. Doesn't matter if you're black, green, blue, or yellow, we're all aboriginals. We don't know where our original families started out, but only where 10,000 years of Chinese people lived, Incas and Mayas, Filipinos, East Indians from India or Pakistan, and Arabia, called the Mecca, where they built monuments, even in Africa, carved out of stone and so forth, because wood rots. I live in a realistic world, not like my parents say I live in an unrealistic world. I was assaulted by INVEGA. I was insulted by family violence, indecent acts, and human manipulation. I can't handle my skin after what I went through with INVEGA, or the psychological abuse of the government being unfair and dictating the assault of my life, and now don't see anything about my country as fair and good to be by. I wish you all the best. It's my birthday tomorrow, August the 4th. I turned 47 years old. Like I said, I had to do this video beforehand, and wish you all the best on this long weekend. And take it easy. I hope everybody finds redemption, as the Jewish people do with Nazi criminals and some Aboriginals of North America, supposedly, or people who are being assaulted in North America who says they're First Nations, find their redemption. I don't think white people will ever leave North America due to the fact that there's probably white people here back then as well, as the wild animals of Russia are in North America as well because of the land bridge, as people did as well. Nobody knows the real truth. History is written by the conqueror. And hopefully I wake up tomorrow. Hopefully I wake up next week. And hopefully I wake up next year. I have to contact Dr. Leibowitz when I have some money and get this fat removed from my body. I love his videos on how he dictates and says that, hey, you can't get it off without the surgery. And I hope this drug hasn't been created to create him jobs in life too, or drugs like it that causes obesity on a body. If this is the reason why we have obesity on our body, then I suggest the doctors stop using this assault on people so we can get rid of gynecomastia and obesity as well. Same with diabetes. If a leading cause of diabetes is a lack of hormones as well, and that weight loss, according to Duffy Medical in the States too, is hormone therapy as well, that everything's based on hormone therapy and the manipulation of people's health, men and women, that causing them harm like obesity, depression, balding, and diabetes. If these are all caused because the psychologically deranged Frankenstein doctor who created this so somebody else can have a job, just like the definition of mental illness or the structure of society, who can and cannot have an education because, hey, those families refuse to feed their kids properly, or the government refused equal protection, making sure everybody had the same lifestyles pretty much so everybody can live equally and fairly and not have less and we could have less discrimination, not more. Justin Timberlake did a pretty good movie on In Time, I think it was, how time was money, and time is money because you only get $7 an hour for minimum wage. So you figure out $7 one hour, $7, and that item costs $7. Wow, this book costs $7. So you take 1 hour off that time. That's pretty crazy, eh? I can only have one wife in life. I can only have one job in life. We can't live on part-time labor, casual labor, only full-time. We work too many days and too many years in life and not enough enjoyment, and we don't get enough holidays in life. I'm 47 years old and I've never had a holiday in my life. Period. I've been to a few places with family, once with a girlfriend, but that wasn't a holiday because it was nowhere where I enjoyed because she had to go see her family. That's not a holiday. Holiday is when you go to another country because you want to sit on Mexico's beaches or Rio de Janeiro or go to Spain or Nice or go to Greece and see where Zeus was one day, or go to Norway and see where the Vikings were, or go to Russia and see St. Petersburg, or Moscow, or Siberia. or even go to the North Pole or South America, somewhere as well. That's a holiday. Not sitting in your house, not sitting in a trailer, but going to see somewhere. Yeah, maybe seeing in a trailer going camping is a holiday, but a real holiday is when you can go travel somewhere. Scraping by in life ain't fun. They have us overspending on credit cards and spending our retirements on it, and that's an immature thought by those who think they're managing money properly when they have to use what they saved to pay for their overspending on a credit card. That's why we have to get rid of credit cards and credit. Because a bank doesn't give you credit unless you have so much money left over at the end of the month to live by still. Gone through it. My birth father, Ross Joseph Francis, took me to bank and they explained that. You have to have so much for your rent, so much for food, and so much left over. Have a great day. This is Ross Jason Boehm Lai. You can check me on Roscoe Gaming as well. All links are below and other videos as well. The description, there's nothing there, but I'll add something. You can check the top corner. The top corner there. Hit the upside down explanation mark, and it'll lead you to links of GoFundMe and a couple other things probably. Wish you all the best. If you've been assaulted by INVEGA, speak up. Subscribe to my thing. Go to my Facebook. Subscribe to that. Tell all your friends and everybody who's being assaulted and subscribe, please. $5 go a great way. If 1,000 people send it to me, then I can get my setup and do this properly. And get your videos in here, and you can speak up, and I'll have one after another, like Ask I Patient has for all their stuff too. That's right. They got lists of people who've been assaulted by medications from A to Z. Check her out. They're in my descriptions. They're in my links. Check my playlist. Playlist 1 is me talking. Playlist 2 is my references. And the poverty, same thing. I'm not joking. It's a violation of human rights. Please stand up for your human rights. I don't think the liberal government's listening. You're violating human rights. I'm going through this, and you will not listen for over 5 years now. Oh, don't worry. Stephen Harper did the same thing. And every MLA that left, just because they die and leave, doesn't mean they're not guilty still. I'm Jason Boehm Lai for human rights violations in INVEGA SUSTENNA and abilify and so forth. You take her easy and have a great evening. Remember, post-traumatic stress syndrome is an assault on human being. Why people go postal by Billy the Kid. It's also in there. Nobody needs psychological genocide to their lives. A premeditated assault onto their lives. And no gay guy should hit on a straight man, nor no gay woman should hit on a straight woman. And if she's gay, she tells you to leave her alone, man, don't hit on her. But remember, it's a crime if you're not going to breed women. And same with men, because nobody's coming after you. It's called a crime of genocide. There's no bloodline following you. That's an end and an extinction of life. If it was the last lions or tigers in a zoo and they can't breed, they're just dead animals too. An unfertilized piece of land is no good for production of life, for food, and you have to move on and find better. Thank you very much if you're listening. This is Ross Jason Boehm Lai for August the 3rd, 2019. Like to help me out, GoFundMe, or go to Newegg, Amazon, and my Steam. Thanks again. My wish list, anything on there, I'll be happy with. Even the penis pump that I need because I need more blood, and my penis is too small and can't procreate. Can't have a family without money either.